welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another episode of Tell Me More. Today's topics are really exciting. It's talking about dating, online dating, waiting for your perfect time, all those kind of things. Before we get started though, of course, I have a few disclaimers. One, my fan is on. It's really hot today. I don't know why. And on top of that, I have lighting, so it's just lovely. And I have a lot more makeup on than I usually do, so I just feel like I'm gonna melt in about 2 seconds. Second disclaimer, of course, as always, what I say and what my opinions are not professional. You guys should know this. I'm just a YouTuber. For those of you who send me emails and I get to talk about them on my channel, thank you so much for giving me that opportunity. And I get their consent to be able to share their stories and my opinions. So this is just entertainment purposes. It's not that serious. A lot of you guys also get really hypersensitive about like me deleting comments, but if your comment is fucking rude, yeah, it's gonna go because it's my channel and I want positivity on my channel. I encourage you to share your opinions because maybe you've gone through the same thing, or maybe you have a friend that went through the same thing and you want to share your opinion. I encourage you to share your opinion, but if it's fucking rude, it's leaving, it's gone, done, ditto, okay? So moving on. I have a lot of energy today. I don't know why. But before we get started, I have wine. Oh, you couldn't see that. I thought you were gonna be able to see it. I have wine and we're gonna open up the wine on camera. Today's wine is Gott Cabernet Sauvignon. Fancy. I actually had it laying around. We're gonna pop it open because it's not my favorite wine. And it was just sitting in my room. So why have it sitting in my room if I can just drink it and get rid of it? I went looking for an ice cold beer, but we did not have any. Ugh. Oh, that is music to my ears. I can't wait to move out, you guys, because honestly, if you guys saw the image I have for Tell Me More, this isn't it. I know it's basic for me to sit in front of my closet because that's the only white wall I have that's vacant, and then a plant. But trust me, when I move, there's a whole different studio vibe that I have, and you guys are gonna love it. I don't know if I'm gonna enjoy this. Last time I tried it, I did not enjoy it. Cheers, you guys. That's okay. I don't know if I like it. We'll see. First story isn't really a story. She kind of laid it out like a interview kind of style, but let's get going. Sorry about all the scribbles back here. I was planning out my tattoo video. Okay. Hey girl, hey, as the title, I don't know why I read it like that. That's how I read it. Hey girl, hey! As the title suggests, I wanted to get your suggestions and opinions about how people date in LA. It has been over 5 years since I have been in LA and dating is ridiculously difficult here. You're telling me. I am looking to have a relationship with one person, but it seems like it is hard to find the right fit. I'm in my late 20s. If I am attracted to them, they may be fuckboys or not looking for anything serious. If they are serious and a relationship type of guy, I'm not attracted to their personality or looks. I've been on Hinge, Bumble, and OkCupid. I know you mentioned once that you have a lot of experience dating in LA and wanted to get your thoughts on the following. First things first, I do not have a lot of experience in LA. I actually don't date people in LA. LA is a totally different vibe. I'm more down in the OC area, and I feel like OC is really different from LA. I know, like, when you're from out of state, you want to categorize us as all LA people, but I don't per se associate myself with LA people. Not that they're bad, it's just they have such a different vibe from what I'm doing, so I actually don't have experience dating LA guys. I have experience dating OC guys, which that's a whole nother story. But first, general impression about LA dating and why it may be difficult to find a good match. 2, do you think going in with a serious relationship focused attitude scares guys away? I don't expect a relationship right away, but after a few months of dating, I expect it to be labeled. Or do people even label relationships anymore? 3, Tips on how to increase my chances of meeting someone my type and relationship oriented. 4, dating app tips on my profile or what to look for in their profile. 5, should I try not to look for a relationship and just have fun with multiple guys and not be emotionally attached? Hope I can resonate with others on this topic through TMM. Your channel is one of a kind and I love the intent and appreciate how it is run by subscriber participation. Thank you so much. That last part of your email really touches me. But yeah, anyways, I've only really dated in the OC. Not very many guys from LA, and if they're from LA, they're not from like the urban, like, do you get what I mean? To start off, I think you said if I'm attracted to them, they might be fuckboys or not looking for anything serious. I feel like our culture these days, our society has changed to really pretend like we don't want a serious relationship, especially in guys, because I feel like guys and girls are very different. Some girls are the same. Okay, rewind. All of us are the same. We all eventually want someone. We want to be loved. We want to love. However, I think with dating apps becoming so normal and dating in general being so normal, I feel like we've gotten to the point where we're like, what's the point of serious if you get sick of them in like 2 days and then you're on to the next? I've always said this, and I think it's that people aren't patient enough anymore. We're so quick to judgment. I feel like a lot of the times when you're dating someone, you're kind of like, oh, like he did this wrong, done, like he's out, like he's not an opportunity, like he's not an option. So I feel like we don't have the patience anymore where we wait and we're like, oh no, it's okay, like keep going, get to know him. Like we're just so quick, because it's literally swipe left, swipe right. That's all it is. That's all we're really used to now. So I feel like we have ingrained into our minds that we're not looking for anything serious, but we are. Ultimately, we are. We're always so scared to get hurt or hurt somebody, so that's why ghosting is so normal, blocking is so normal. I feel like when you don't know the answer, you're like block or unfriend, or you know, it's just so quick. Everything is so quick. You said you've been on Hinge, Bumble, OkCupid. Those are really good sites. I've heard amazing things about each one, actually. OkCupid, obviously my best friend Kim and Carlos, they met on OkCupid and they're like amazing. I've heard a lot of stories where a lot of people met online, and honestly I just feel like it has a lot to do with timing and patience and whether their head is in the right space. We don't get to know people anymore. Like we don't take the time to actually, like we think we do, but we actually don't. Second question is, do you think going in with a serious relationship focused attitude scares guys away? I don't expect a relationship right away, but after a few months of dating, I expect it to be labeled. Or do people even label relationships anymore? Do you think, okay, first part is, do you think going in with a serious relationship focused attitude scares guys away? I do, if I'm being honest, I do think it scares guys away. But at the same time, I totally stand by that. You should say you're in it for a relationship, because if not, you're kind of beating around the bush basically and letting the guy lead, and then you're stuck 5 months later where you're like, what are we? But if you're in it for like, hey, I ultimately want a relationship, like I used to beat around the bush all the time. I used to be like, oh, I'm just looking, like, oh, I'm just looking for friends. But ultimately that doesn't lead anywhere. It basically just gets you into bed or with nothing. At least when you take a stand and go, hey, ultimately I want a relationship, that's what I'm looking for. So if you're not in it, you're not in it. You're not wasting your time. Like, you know, if you're gonna get to know someone, at least get to know them because you're on the same level. Like if this guy's here and you're up here, why would you even want to, you know, fuck with him? I don't expect a relationship right away, but after a few months of dating, I expect it to be labeled. Or do people even label relationships anymore? I think if it's important to the person, they'll label it. Like if they like you, if a guy likes you, he's gonna wanna make you his girlfriend. That's the problem though, getting there, finding a guy who wants to actually date you, and not you, the email sender. I mean you as in general. Like if a guy, like I've always said, if a guy wants you, he'll do anything to have you. If a guy wants you to be his girlfriend, he'll make it known. Trust me, he'll he'll label it if it's important to him. And the whole thing about how you expect it to be labeled like after a few months of dating, if you guys started talking to each other because you both were like, okay, yeah, ultimately I want a serious relationship, and it's been a couple months since you've gone on dates and hung out, I would ask for a label. I'd be like, so where is this going? Because, you know, a girl wants to be in love here and you're not really making it possible, or you're making it really hard. Just kidding. But I would ask for it. I would, not a label, but I'd be like, hey, are we heading in the same direction? Because my biggest thing is communication. You should always be like, you guys should have enough communication where you shouldn't be so lost. And if you are, you should have the right to ask him where you stand, and he should be able to give you an honest answer. If a couple months into dating and he's still like, I don't know, then bye. Third is tips on how to increase my chances of meeting someone my type and relationship oriented. Unfortunately, I feel like online dating, that's kind of really hard. And the reason I say that is because it's online dating. That's like a crap ton of people, which is really funny because yesterday a friend of mine and I were sitting at the dinner table and we were going through our Hinge profile. We were like, oh my god, let's go to a different country. So I actually have mine set in like Ireland, I think in Dublin, which is really funny because honestly you could end up meeting someone from random places. You just never know. I don't think you can ever categorize exactly what you want because it's just a dating app. I don't think you should rely on it like it's die hard. I feel like this past year I've really let it go, and it's like, if I meet someone, I meet someone. If I don't meet someone, then I don't. I feel like when you're really looking, it doesn't really go the way you want it to. So just let it flow. Fourth is dating app tips on my profile or what to look for in their profile. I honestly don't know, girl, because if I knew the answer, then I would obviously tell you and I would be in a relationship. Sometimes it's also a good idea to have your friends fill out your bio for you or the questionnaires, because I feel like your friends represent who you are and you need to be your funky, quirky self. Like, be yourself. I feel like that starts conversation and it's just true. You start your relationship on like truth. Okay, fifth one is, should I try not to look for a relationship and just have fun with multiple guys and not be emotionally attached? I don't think we can help getting emotionally attached. That doesn't happen on our own terms. Like, you never want to get emotionally attached. It just happens and you can't help it. So I can't say don't get emotionally attached, because what if you find this guy and he's really nice but he ends up not being the one, but you're emotionally attached? I say have fun. Don't go in it like, okay, I'm gonna find a relationship here. Obviously we can't help it. I know what you're going through because I'm on dating apps all the time, but I feel like when we put an expectation and our expectation is broken, that's when we get really discouraged. And it shouldn't even be that serious. It's just dating apps. Those of you who found your significant others on dating apps or online or whatever the case may be, I think it's amazing that it worked out for you. For those of you who it didn't work out for, it's okay. I don't know what your definition of have fun with multiple guys mean, but I'm assuming it's not that way. Like, you're not all of them. But go on dates, enjoy yourself, and one day you're gonna hit it off with a guy, whether it was from online or not, and it's gonna be fine. Girl, you and I are on the same boat. A lot of other girls and boys are on the same boat. It's okay. What's most important is that you're true to yourself, you love yourself, you put yourself first, and that's all that's important. This isn't really much of advice. I feel like it's more like, girl, I know. So in the second story it says, hello Michelle. First off, thank you so much for giving my story a read. I've been watching your journey for quite some time now, and I finally have the courage to approach you with a concern I've been struggling with. I have a close friend who recently ended a 3-year marriage with a divorce, and so ever since then she has been going through the trial and errors of getting back into the dating scene again. She's had a handful of dates and partners to have conversation with, usually through dating apps, but there was one specific guy whom she met in a social setting to which she connected with right off the bat. They clicked on so many levels as they discussed emotional, philosophical conversations, which she loves, and he treated her with great respect and kindness all throughout. He was only in town for vacation, and so after he left the country, they have been talking every day, FaceTiming for hours on a consistent basis since then. They have both expressed their interest in each other, but when it comes down to the big "what are we? Where is this going?" question, they mutually agree that now is not the time for them to be together. He is actively engaged in his business, and she is also a very career-oriented person. Realistically thinking, they knew that to make their relationship work, one would have to move to the other eventually, and that was something they couldn't picture just yet. After that was concluded, they keep in touch as friends and support one another like a loved one. She has gone on dates and shown interest in other men since him, and continues her search for a potential partner. But as a friend, I can't help but always wonder if the initial guy could have been the one. She still talks about him and knows that he has set her standards quite high, and even says that if he was in the same country as her, she'd be with him, no doubt. I can tell that she's eager to have a significant other, and she can get tired of hearing "your time will come," "maybe now is just not the timing," etc. So my questions to you are, what are your thoughts on right person, wrong time? How important is timing in relationships, and should someone be willing to make moves and chase after someone to make the timing right? Have you ever experienced anything like that, or have been told it's just not your time? When the time is right, you'll find him type of comments. Thank you so much for reading this. I hope this reaches you. Thank you so much for writing me. So as you guys can tell, it kind of goes hand in hand. One, I hope your friend meets the love of her life very soon. I really do hope so. I feel like everyone deserves it. Now, I don't have much to say about her exact story, like about her journey of finding someone, so I'll just go straight into answering the questions. I know for those of you who are single, honestly, I can already hear the haters coming out of the woodworks. You've never been in a relationship. Yeah, I don't really care. If you have been single either as long as me or in a very long time, it is hard. I feel like for a small amount of time, I stopped saying like I want to be in a relationship to people around me, because the first thing they would say to me is, "Your time will come. It's just not your time yet." And I'm like, please shut up. Please, please. That's not why I'm sharing my information with you. So I totally understand the frustration when someone goes, "It's not your time yet. Your time will come. It's okay, sweetie." I'm just frustrated, that's all. My thoughts about right person, wrong time. I'm very half-half about it. I believe that if it's the right person and the wrong time, they're not the person for you. And the reason I say that is because ultimately in that moment it feels like the person is right for you, but if the timing is wrong, then obviously the universe or God or whatever higher being you believe in is saying it's not meant for you right now. Hence, it's not the person you're supposed to be with. I think in some cases, right person, wrong time does work, because you meet the right person, this is the love of your life, but something comes up and you can't, like in her situation, this guy or she is also not willing to move because they have things going in their life. So at the moment, see, I'm very back and forth with it, because I feel like there's times where it's right, but then there's times where it's wrong. There is such thing as a right, I don't know. Like, because if it's the right person, for me, here's the thing. If it was me and it was the right person, I wouldn't make it the wrong time. Like, if you're telling me I have a connection with someone and he's willing to do something about it, like for me, let's just hypothetically pretend this guy lives in Northern California, I live in Southern California, and say he has to, like, his whole life is up there, and I met him while he was on vacation here. I would go and visit him. I would make it work to see if he is the person. Because if I have this gut feeling that he's my person, I would make it my time. I would chase it to see if there's a future to even begin with. The problem with my personality is I can see good and bad for all sides. Like, I could literally be like, I have no bias. I'm biased to the people that are in my life, but I can see both good and bad from each side and every angle. That's why sometimes it's really hard for me to answer these questions straight off the bat, because I see both sides. Second was, how important is timing in a relationship, and should someone be willing to make moves and chase after someone to make the timing right? I feel like if the timing is right and you are urged to make that move, then that was what was supposed to happen. That's what your journey was supposed to be. Third and last question is, have you ever experienced anything like this, or have been told it's just not your time? When the time is right, you'll find him type of comments. Yes, oh my god, I've been told that my whole life, by every one of my friends, by every one of my mentors, by every one of the adults. It used to really bother me and irk me, and I would never talk about relationships with anyone because I was just like, oh, this is so annoying. Like, is that all you guys have to say to me? And recently, at least in the last year or 2 years, I would say, I definitely believe that the timing is right. It isn't my time. Because if you actually look at your life in a more outside perspective, which I know sometimes is very hard, but if you like zoom out of your life and I look at my life, for me personally, I have struggles with my self-confidence and my self-love, and I need to work on that before I end up being in a relationship. If a relationship happens before I'm fully there, it's okay, I can still work on it. But there's so many things that I should be focusing on anyways outside of a relationship. My timing isn't right. My YouTube is something that I'm working on right now. If I was in a relationship, I wouldn't even be doing the things that I do. And the reason I'm saying that is because if I had been in a relationship, I know myself. I am like die hard. I'm one of those stupid bitches who fall head over heels for the guys and will do anything. So I needed the time to be single. I knew that God literally was like, you are weak, so you cannot be in a relationship, because if you're in a relationship, you're not going to do anything for yourself. And I truly believe that. If I had been in a relationship when I was younger, I wouldn't do anything. I would just be so head over heels. I would be the one making stupid mistakes, and he would be abusing me verbally, mentally, you know, psychologically, and I would allow it because I'm just that kind of person. And I had to grow up, and my timing isn't there yet because now I'm working on things for myself. But I only realized that until about a year ago, where I was like, oh, I actually don't need a relationship right now. Right now is actually not a good timing. Do I look for it? Yes. I'm on dating apps. It's there. If it happens, it happens, because then that's my time. So yes, I know when people say it's not your timing, or maybe just not now, or your timing is soon, it's annoying. It's so annoying, and you just want to Of course, it's only natural to want to be in a relationship. And of course, it's only natural to sometimes be like, oh my God, I want to be in a relationship. But at the end of the day, it's gonna happen when it's supposed to happen. We can't control it, unfortunately. We can't timeline it. I don't know about you guys, but everything that's happened in my life did not go according to my timeline. And dating especially did not go according to my timeline. I thought I was gonna be married by 25. Heck, I thought I was gonna be married at 24 and have kids by 27. But I'm 26 next month, and that's okay. It's just supposed to happen when it's supposed to happen. And I know that doesn't help, and I know this might irritate some of you as well, but it's okay. And it's okay to be frustrated, but it's okay to be okay, and it's okay to not be okay. Just like for me, the timing will come. And when the timing comes, it'll be like perfect bliss. And it'll be so beautiful, and you won't even remember the times that you were wondering when the timing will be, and it'll be fine. Okay, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I love talking about this topic, and I hope that those of you who are on dating apps, I hope the best for you. Honestly, just have fun. Don't take it seriously. It's okay. I'm in the same boat as you. It's okay. We got this. Thank you for those of you who have shared your stories. If you want to share a story of yours, it doesn't have to be just about dating or boys or friends or anything like that. It could be your personal struggles, whatever's on your heart, you can totally share with me. I leave my email down in the descriptions bar below. Give this video a big thumbs up, and if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!